Let's imagine you're playing a new game of chess, but this time, the board has been completely reshuffled, the pieces have changed roles, and the rules have completely changed. And you're playing by the old playbook, so you're setting yourself up for a loss. And in this year, UX design is like this game in chess. What worked in the past isn't the strategy that's gonna work anymore. So in this video, I'm gonna break down 5 things that no one is talking about in UX design for this year. From shifting industry expectations or challenges that could make or break your career. These are things that I wish I had known before I got started, and these are things that you are going to want to pay attention in order to succeed in this field, so let's get into it. Just clarify that these are my own personal opinions and experiences, so don't come at me, bro. Most UX work is fixing other people's previous decisions. In UX bootcamp, it was all about let's redesign an app like Netflix or create a brand new athleisure e-commerce site from scratch, which was all fun and all, but once I got into the real world experience of becoming a designer, especially a product designer working in tech on like a software kind of app, I realized that it was completely different. And if you think about it, now tech products have been around for a very long time. So by the time you touch a design, a dozen of other designers have already been there. It's basically like assembling IKEA furniture that a bunch of other people have already started. Some pieces are missing, the instructions are half gone, and then it's up to you to make it sturdy without knowing what the last person was thinking. Not very easy. And then on top of that, sometimes UX is really just iterating on messy or like outdated or unpolished or rushed work, and then convincing everyone else that you have to fix it. And who knows, there is a high chance that I have designed something very questionable, pieced out. So if you've ever stumbled across one of my designs that were bad, I'm very sorry. I hope you like puzzles. The second one is that stakeholders are more important than users. More than ever, I'm seeing unfinished experiences being rushed out to users, all in the name of AI. Yes, in a perfect world, users do come first. But in reality, it's more like,
oh, the users? Yeah, we'll get to them after stakeholders and business goals and deadlines that we definitely cannot miss.
And because of that, it is a really weird time to be a UX designer, especially when we were taught from day one to put the user in front of everything. But now I'm seeing a lot of these big tech companies and the ones that are especially known for their best UX roll out features or products that kind of make you question, are you really solving for a user problem? And the wildest part is that everyone's kind of following along with it. And that's kind of the tech industry for you. There's a lot of going on, if you know what I mean. So the real skill here is being able to balance user needs with business needs without compromising too much. And also, if you're like an old school designer like I was born and raised on this ideology that no matter what, you put the user first, it's time to kind of rethink your strategy and think about how can I understand business goals and values, especially in this day and age. I don't think it's changing anytime soon as long as we are in this AI race. Next one is not every UX designer needs to code, but because of that, they often overlook the importance of structure and accessibility. And I know you're like, Mimi, I don't believe you, because UX designers are always thinking about that. I swear, over the years, I have seen that usability, like accessibility or structure, definitely takes a hit because of all of the business needs that UX designers have to prioritize. Or even working at companies that like to put visuals on the main stage instead of prioritizing really good usability best practices. And honestly, there is so much that a UX designer has to learn to prioritize and balance that it can honestly fall through the cracks, and I do not blame them because there are a lot of intense demands of being a UX designer. And also, if you want like a very raw, honest me having like a very big venting session, I highly recommend you check this video out where I sit in my car and I drink too much coffee and I just complain about the UX industry. And I won't lie to you, some of these things can be really tedious, especially in web design. And I'll expose myself and I'll say that my toxic trait is being annoyed with having to make all of my designs responsive. Oh my God, I said it. Like, let's be real, it can be really exhausting to design for every single breakpoint. That's why I like using a web creation platform. Something like Wix Studio. The platform takes care of responsiveness automatically, so I don't have to manually tweak every version. And this allows me to focus on the overall user experience and ensure my clients' websites look great and function seamlessly across all devices. I have also been focusing on improving my accessibility skills, and Wix Studio has been a huge help in that area. The platform offers an accessibility wizard that scans your designs and detects issues like missing headings or the need for alt text on images so that my designs are accessible to all users. Also, to really get better at UX design in the beginning, I first started playing with website builders as sandboxes to test if design decisions worked in real life. I'd move buttons around to see what made sense, or experimenting with image layouts and seeing masonry or grid images. So it's not enough just to learn it. The more that you dive into it, the more you'll see if these elements can help make or break your designs. Moving on to the next one, and that's research gets ignored more than you think. UX research is super valuable, but in a lot of companies, decisions are already made before the research even starts. And people's minds are basically made up. It doesn't even matter if you do research. Then you end up having to fight your way to the cool kids table just to get your insights acknowledged. As someone who is obsessed with UX research, it is my favorite part of the design process, that hit me like a ton of bricks. And again, I'm not saying that every company is doing this. This is purely based off of my experience and what I've heard from other designers, what I'm kind of seeing in the industry. And it really does feel like research is now taking a backseat, and it's all about designing and getting those designs out there to customers, shipping more betas, experimenting from there and testing and learning versus taking more space in the design process up front to do that research. This one's gonna get a little spicy, but that's okay. I'm not afraid. UX is 90% communication and 10% design. This has been a running theme for this year that I've seen all over the UX industry. And it very much resonates with my personal experience. I even have a video of how I barely go into Figma anymore. I highly recommend you watch that video next because it really goes more into depth of this topic. There's a really spicy section in this article called The State of UX in 2025, and I'm gonna quote it here. We're shifting our focus from good design to organizational politics. What the article is basically saying is that lately designers are spending most of their meeting times and conversations talking about anything else other than design. Getting stakeholder alignment or balancing those users versus business needs, and products get launched because someone's wanting a promotion, and timelines are set more around performance reviews or company reports. I just love the article. I highly recommend reading it, and I will link it down below. Because of last year, there was just this heavy cloud of layoffs just shadowing all of us designers. The focus really went from doing great work to just holding on to our jobs. I talk about how this applied to my last year at work and how it really did affect how I felt about my performance reviews, and I didn't have the best year at work. And so I highly recommend you watch this video when you get a chance. So today, the best UX designers are not the ones who are experts at Figma. They're the ones that are really great at selling their ideas, justifying their decisions, and wrangling stakeholders. I've thought about this, how do I get better at something like this? And you really have to tap into a different type of job. To me, that's learning the art of a deal and being a salesperson and learning how to negotiate, or being a lawyer who knows how to justify or debate or defend something. And also being a really good storyteller and being a very persuasive person, which is something that you don't think about when you want to become a UX designer. That's definitely not something someone pitched me when I decided to join a UX bootcamp. I was oh, I'm gonna be in Figma. I'm gonna be in InVision and prototyping. I'm gonna be talking to customers. And especially for product designers, especially if you're working in tech, we're prioritizing more of why something should be built or why something does work versus how it looks. If you're looking for a UX design job this year, watch this video next because I go over a step-by-step strategy on how to stand out. I'll see you next time. Bye.